Where did the Battle of Edington actually happen? Or Battle of Edington as it's called. Battle of Edington or Edington was the most decisive battle. Happened all those years ago in AD 878, but it meant that Alfred secured Britain for Britain and converted Danes to the English faith, or they died. And some of them must have just fallen into the population here. But it was the most decisive battle in English history, and we don't even know the exact spot of it. You can see the area of Bratton Camp behind me, and it is reported that troops came over the top, but we don't know. It's before written word, and that they actually had a fight or a battle on this plain here, a bloody battle. But there's several things that make you think that's not really quite possible. One of them is water. They would need to be somewhere where there was water, and there would need to be clues in the landscape itself. And looking at the landscape, would you come all the way up here to fight from Salisbury Plain? I don't think you would. You would look for somewhere where there's water before you could have a battle. But we'll just have a look around up here. In general, most of you probably be familiar with the area anyway, and see what you think. But I don't think that that's the case at all. You can see, looking to the west here behind me, that there's quite a bit of flat land, but I don't think it's battle type land at all. May have camped here, but I just can't see the possibility of it exactly. So I think we need to look further more to the east, which is over in that way, and see what we can find there. So I'm still on West Right Horse. I'm headed to the east, in amongst the field of sheep, great fun, and carry on down towards Bratton. But it was called the Battle of Edington because it was near Edington. That's the clue to it really in this, and I don't think it would have been up here at all. I think the main key to all of this is the way that Alfred actually came to the battle. Did he come via Salisbury Plain or the lower lands via the Selwood Forest? I'm inclined to think it was more the Selwood Forest, working his way up from Glastonbury through Mells to Frome, or just outside of Frome, then Beckington, then up over the back of the hills to Rudge Hill and along through Westbury on a lower road which goes down there, and then up around to the battle site for various strategic reasons. I can't see him coming all the way across the plain because it would have been very difficult to have kept your horses fed and watered correctly. And in the Selwood Forest, it would have given them plenty of opportunity for making weaponry and for going there undetected. So let's carry on this area here and see what we can find. Well, you can see behind me this wonderful big valley here that may be one of the sites of the Battle of Edington or Edington. It runs all the way up to Bratton, that was called Stoke Croft, and obviously anybody in the village would have soon ran away when they saw the Danes coming in. So it is a possible site down in this valley here. It's quite a tranquil, secluded spot. I've done a video on it before about it being a Roman amphitheatre, and I'll put the thing up there. But it is a definite possibility. And behind me here is a view of the valley from the other side, leading down to Bratton, and that's where our key is, I think, in Bratton. And I'll explain when we get down there for various reasons. Well, I've come now to Bratton, which was originally Stoke's Croft. medieval village. And behind me here, this piece of land, clues in the name, is called Danes Ley. I'll show you it on a map, and I'll show you it with some Google Maps and bits and bobs that show you what it's all about. So this is the area where the Danes came to. And we'll go and have a look a bit further, and you'll find some other information on my video Bloodstone experience too. We can see the water coming directly out here from Salisbury Plain into the area, and so this would have been their lifeblood, if you like, for holding up in this area prior to and during the battle itself. Well, I'm now going to carry on into the area where the Bloodstone is, the valley there. I'm sure this is where the battle occurred, because we've got water, and strategically Alfred would have surrounded Guthrum and the Danes very easily, then moved in for the kill. Even though it took a long time, remember they didn't have as many weapons as the Danes, so it would have been harder, but strategically a very bright move indeed, and he was a very educated man. Well, this valley is split into two. It goes off up over that way towards the Bloodstone, and that way Edington's just over the brow of the hill. So it's possible they were encamped in this area, but not over the other area. The other area, more than likely, is where the battle occurred. And the reason for that is obvious, and I'll show you why. Right now in the valley of the Bloodstone, and as you can see, there's no way out at all. This valley, if Alfred's troops came over the top, down into the valley, they had them trapped. They had no way out. They had higher ground behind them as well. They were stuck, and they probably covered the higher ground behind. So he went in a pincer type effect. Well, I'm now sat on the Bloodstone, and you can see this is the most possible site. I'll scan around so you can see all that. Watch my video on the Bloodstone experience, and that will show you how Alfred finished off the battle. There's earthworks and mounds all around here. Any one of them could contain battle remains. So I'm going for this area as the site of the Battle of Edington. You can imagine the area being surrounded, troops coming down either side, or people with weapons, call them troops if you want, thousands of them from all around Somerset, Wiltshire, descending into the area. And Alfred was a strategist, he was an intelligent man, and he obviously had thought the battle out. So strategy, I think, saved us if this proves to be the battle site. There's lots of old tumuli in the area, Iron Age mounds, things of that nature, but they may actually contain the battle victims, the ones that they didn't dispose of in other ways. But very interesting, great to be here. And as far as Edington goes, there's a couple of flat areas there, but I can't see it there either. And this would have been termed as being like Edington anyway, would have fallen within the boundary of Edington back in those days, and all within Wessex. So that's my thoughts on it. Have fun.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a